Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. It's a type of party.
You didn't say good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
There you go.
I'm Dutch Pyramid.
I'm Bruce Robinson.
As much as I hate to outline this because it's something that's been really ticking me off.
What, the fact that we live in a country run by a bunch of idiots?
Yeah, that, and the fact that in the midst of all that has happened with the domestic partnership bill passing and having to go up to the governor, all I have seen is grade A deflection by supporters and unfortunately members of our house.
Isn't that all we see? Grade A deflection?
Yeah. I don't understand how somebody can pass a bill that takes away a right to do something that one segment of the population has, and now another segment can't do it. So you're telling me that a law would be okay if I said to a Chinese guy in Bermuda that he couldn't use the public bathrooms, but everyone else can use the public bathrooms.
Yeah, isn't that the same thing white people did in the 60s?
Yeah.
And the 50s? And the stuff that they all want to remind us of, knowing our history, but yet they're sitting here repeating it, just doing it to gay people rather than black people?
Yeah, so instead of our government leading by example and actually forming a very concise reasoning behind the bill.
No, they just did it. There was no reasoning. Actually, speaking of reasoning, what was that Mr. Walton Brown said when he tweeted May 5th, 2017 at 3:40 p.m.? That says, Supreme Court ruling in favor of same-sex marriage is to be applauded. Pity it took a judge to do what parliamentarians refused to do.
And this is why I tell you I keep my skillet, because these politicians are pancakes and they flip-flop.
No,
you gotta catch them.
This is one thing now, because Walter Braun, Yella Rabane, and Christopher Famous are the three worst ones on social media.
Terrible.
And what you need to realize, the internet doesn't forget.
Nope.
People do, but the internet does not forget. So this tweet was deleted from Walton Brown's account, but there's a little thing called screenshot.
Yeah. And what we're trying to figure out is again,
Well, he's just an even bigger pancake.
Why can't the ministers and the MPs stick to the reasonings behind why they chose to do this bill? Somebody asked online, did you consider the economic backlash that might happen if you pass this bill?
No, of course they did.
Mr. Famous's responses were nothing but...
Oh, let's pull those up. Let's pull those up. Let's pull those up.
I don't understand why the deflection is that it comes back to the December 2nd protest where people are saying, oh, because nobody stood up when these old ladies were, and I quote by Christopher Famous, beaten and pepper sprayed. Now,
hold on.
What's really
said 12 months ago,
right?
Bermudian seniors were beaten and pepper sprayed. Why no calls to, well, it's not even grammatically correct. Why no calls to boycott Bermuda then? Let's screenshot that just in case you can use it like everybody. You said it? Okay, well, I have it as well now.
There I am, right there.
There you are, right there. You ought to be ashamed to sit there and try to tell folks that our police, who have minimal history of violence in comparison to other countries, set out to pinpoint and attack seniors. If they possessed that malice, I assure you things would have gotten much worse. Now, Mr. Whatever the hell your name is.
yeah, you did.
Now, this is the question. That is grade A deflection.
And crap.
You are an elected MP. Now, you know something? My respect for Christopher Famous was starting to get a little higher because, you know, every time I would go into the house, he would always come and speak to me. He was very polite. Great. But your politeness doesn't excuse your dumbassery. And this right here is dumbassery.
Yeah.
This is literally... No, I'm going to call it something worse. This is niggatry at its finest.
Because why can't, as an MP, he just go down there and just say bullet points or make a concise response to why this bill was passed? An elected
response, a political response. No, you're going to sit there and talk. Literally, y'all ain't no better than Trump when it comes to social media. You say what you want. And if people don't like it, then screw them.
Yeah, I hesitate to make Trump comparisons. It's Trump-esque.
It's Trump-esque. It's literally Trump-esque.
But the thing is, I would like to keep this to our government and just simply say that the example
embarrassed.
needs to be set
I'm
that
embarrassed.
when you have a policy that you're trying to convince people that you passed was correct, stick to the facts and stick to the policy. It's no reason for you to take the domestic partnership bill when somebody challenges you on it. Your response is that of a, and I keep saying this, but is that of a child. And I use my little
It is that
brother
of a
again
child.
because my little brother has the exact same tendencies that our ministers have. And what I mean by that is, if I ask him something, why did you take that little boy's bowl when you know it's wrong? Why did you take it? Because he took my bowl. Now,
Isn't
what
he around
question-
10?
Yeah, he is. And what question did he answer for me? Well, I asked you why. And your justification is because they did it. And that is what leadership we have in our house. A tit-for-tat kindergarten camp where you have opposition that can't even vote one way and barely pulled his pants up on the issue to begin with, is now criticizing the current government. And the current government, whose MPs all voted in favor of it, without even making so much as a statement of whether they believe,
Even MPs that said that they would not vote for it,
all voted in party
all
line.
voted for it.
And then our independent
Even
senators,
Bolton Braun, who said that this was great that it was passed back in May, is the one spearheading this whole thing. If
Even-
Wayne Ferber was spearheading, I could understand. At least Wayne Ferber's been consistent about it.
even our independent senators voted.
Even
in
two
favor.
of our OBA senators voted in favor of it.
No, none of our OBA senators. Two of
No, not senators. I'm sorry.
Two of our
Two
OBA,
of our
MPs voted for it, yeah. But our senators of the OBA stood fairly firm on this, and our senators of the PLP did the same thing. But with that being said, our independent senators are the ones that should be ashamed.
And our OBA senators should be equally ashamed because, if anything, those Minister Kenner and Minister Richards, both, not Minister, MP Kenner and MP Richards, both of which voted in favor of this bill, whatever the reasons, the reasoning is regardless, because we don't know anybody's reasoning on this because no one wants to answer any of our damn questions.
Yeah.
But whatever their reasoning was, that said to everybody, the OBA is divided.
We all know that.
We all knew it, but it's an even big. Now you got Leah Scott throwing Dunkley and Minister Canada under the bus. You got Miss Atherton
Giving a French kick to Nick Kemp.
that won't even address the topic. Then you've got Sylvan Richards and Craig Cannoner voting with the PLP against this bill. Whatever the reasoning for it is, regardless, it sent a worse message to the Senate that OBA members, especially the founder of the OBA, two founders of the BDA and OBA,
Sided with
sided with the PLP. And that sends a bigger message than anything. And I'm really disappointed. I'm really disappointed with everybody right now.
Yeah.
There is no one that is safe from our wrath. Because I'm pissed off because if the OBA would have just gotten their heads out of their ass when they were still in power and just passed this through like they should have, this wouldn't be a problem right now.
But even with that, it shouldn't be something that should be just passed through. I feel like the attempts to educate,
That referendum was a waste of money.
exactly, the attempts to teach people and to actually bring unity, to actually hear the conversation.
There's been attempts.
There hasn't.
This
And
is
not
what
in
I'm
my
saying.
opinion. And the thing is, with that being said, you can give up on your government.
Don't give
That
up
is
on
your
it.
democratic right. But you should not give up on your country.
Oh, we're giving up on our government. I'm done.
yeah.
I'm done. I'm done. Like you know what? I was really starting to have a lot of faith in the PLP. It's kind of as my faith in the OBA diminished, my faith in the PLP was starting to get a little better. Because I was like, you know what, y'all's, you're doing this, you're doing that. Then it's a bit of a rocky progression, but you're doing it, and then y'all go do this shit.
Well, my thing is, if anything wasn't going to lead me anyway, it was the fact that Diallo Rabin and Christopher Famous's comments online are anything short of asinine. And to be honest with you, MP Diallo Rabin said, questioned whether the BTA can provide statistics and to provide numbers as to how rainbow money will.
He said
impact
rainbow
tourism.
money?
No, I said rainbow money.
Oh.
I didn't say I quote.
I was about to
I didn't
say.
say I quote. See, you acting like the people, you don't listen. I didn't say I quote. But what I am saying is that was the summarized version. Basically asking the BTA for statistics on how this will impact tourism. And my thing is, what about the reverse? Can you provide statistics on how this will not?
Because we can certainly provide examples of how it's going to do. You want to pull up that article, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm got it too.
Oh, yeah.
How about you read something and I'll read something too? That,
Oh, yeah.
Double team this.
Yeah, we just spot them out. I guess I'll start from the bottom, you start from the top.
Oh, might as well. Hold on. Here we go.
Boycott cruise ship companies that stop there too.
I will not be revisiting Bermuda anytime.
The comments on this break my heart almost as much as the matter itself.
There goes their travel industry. If they do this, what is going on in this world? Why are there such disgusting leaders everywhere with any compassion for what is right?
Good luck with tourism, Bermuda. Dumb.
Boycott cruise ship companies that stop there too. Boycott the cruise ship company, not boycott.
Yeah. Boycott time.
Boycott Bermuda. Good luck with tourism, Bermuda. Hashtag dumb.
This country should spend more time worrying about its debt crisis.
What an awful decision Bermuda has made. Such a shame because it really was so beautiful. So sad.
Was planning a trip there that has been cancelled. No hateful island for me.
This country should spend more time worrying about its debt crisis.
How you just gonna read the ones I read? We just been start from the top and go down the bottom.
I did start from the top and go down the bottom.
You better read on these same ones either way.
Whatever.
The point still stands. There are...
Someone is gonna have to redo the Beach Boys song and remove Bermuda from it. Y'all coming at the Beach Boys. They'll miss gay money. You know what? We are gonna miss gay money. Because this is the thing. It's not just gay people that have gay money. This is what the government doesn't understand. This is what the PLP and the OBA doesn't understand. This is what backwards, Christian, homophobic Bermuda does not understand. Let's put this as an analogy. You're getting evicted from your apartment. Your landlord told you gotta pack up your stuff and you gotta go by tomorrow morning unless you can come with the rent. And you have hundreds of millions of people coming with money in their hands suspended on you. And you're like, I don't want your money, we'll find it another way. They really, hey, we have our money, here. We wanna spend our money here. Take it. That's a 50. Look at my wallet. Either way, this is literally what has happened because it's not just gay people that you lost their money. Remember, it's not just about gay people because that's a small minority. What you have done is you have pissed off the liberal majority of the world. You have pissed off every Facebook social justice warrior that wanted to come and spend the money down here. You have pissed off every gay-friendly company that is run by straight people but accepts gay people. Now our marriage industry is dying. This bill has not just taken away gay marriage, it has killed marriage. Because why would anybody get married now? Think about it. If we can get the same benefits just by getting a simple piece of paper, we don't need to spend money on a wedding.
Well, let's bring it back to the fact that this government has not made opportunities to educate. They have simply
no government has made opportunities to educate.
But they have simply passed a bill without any hope of actually quelling the populace. I understand that it was a campaign pledge, but as government, it is your responsibility to try and quell the masses on this particular issue. And to sit here and peg it to racism is disingenuous at best. Because if you cannot mount and give concise reasons why you passed this bill, besides the fact that you had a mandate by the people, which is complete and shite, because the majority of the people should not mandate to you to take someone else's rights away. If you can't give a concise reasoning as to why you felt as though you had a right to pass this domestic bill and that it was what was best for the country, and none of that shallow, we're not ready for it right now, it's not the right time, that Mr. Della Rabin was trying to spew out online, or none of that, well, where was the whites to stand up for black rights? See, all of that is nothing but deflection. You're not telling us why you feel as though this bill is passed is what is in the best interest of Bermuda. You're not saying that. And for a government to spend more time deflecting than telling us why you feel as though you passed these bills, why you feel as though you passed the Gaming Commission bill, why do you feel these bills are in the best interest of the country? Just because you got the majority votership does not mean you don't need an answer for why you were making moves that you made.
That's exactly what it means to them.
Especially being as though your main issue with the OBA was the fact that they were not transparent and the fact that they did not communicate with the people.
You're literally doing the same thing, but you get a pass because you're black.
And we're not giving you the damn pass.
Ain't nobody. I'm out of bloody well passes to give.
Yeah. And it comes down to, again, with comedians, I have seen a lot of people who are frustrated, a lot of people who are angry and feel as though they don't feel as at home in their own country. But I urge you to remember that you, as Bermudians, should not give up on your country. You can give up on your government. Your government has let you down. They are spineless and soft and weak, and they run with the majority. But as Bermudians, as a people, our government does not define us. Whether we agree with our government at this point or disagree with our government at this point, we have to understand that as a people, we should not turn our back on our country. Going on to that forum and encouraging these people who are bashing us, I consider it treasonous. Because at the end of the day, there are issues in this country, just like any other country. And we as Bermudians, we cannot run from Bermuda or put Bermuda down because they made a decision that we don't necessarily agree with. We have to gather together and find a way to reach an impasse with our brothers and sisters. Because preserve marriage, us, and everyone who is pro or against this issue are all Bermudians. And we need to see eye to eye, or at least learn to tolerate and accept someone else's way of life that's different from us. It's just that simple.
Is it?
You would think it is.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is because I'm sorry, but I've got literally like one little shred of faith left. It's unfortunate it's been taken out of me, and especially what was extremely demoralizing was after this bill was passed, I saw people crying. Literally, I physically saw people crying. These weren't even gay people. All I saw on Facebook, I saw from my sister, I saw from some of my closest friends, and I got a lot of messages, and I got a lot of people coming up to me in the street like, how did we let this happen? I have never been so ashamed to be a Bermudian before. We already were having struggles with actual Bermudian pride, not I'm proud to be Bermudian, no, like actual Bermudian pride, like literally like people being happy to be from here. And that flame has all but been snuffed out because we've literally just shot our tourism industry in the foot.
We have to do what is best for the country. And that means that we have to learn to discuss and disagree without deflection. And that is something that our government has made a norm, because there are many people who feel as though this is justified because so many people have been silent on the inequality within Bermuda as far as it goes to race. And I feel as though it's very sad that we live in a country where we compare and measure inequality to say which one is more unequal. That we live in a country where this struggle can be used to negate another struggle. Why can't we stand for equality as a whole? Why can't I say, I support same-sex, without somebody saying, well, where were you supporting racism? Where were you supporting the fight for blacks? Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of legislation and law in this country that does favor the whites. That's true. It does favor the wealthy, which is the big part of that, the wealthy. But there is no law that has been passed that strips people of color of a right. We have no laws that tell you you can't go to college, you can't use this bathroom, you can't go to this restaurant, you can't get married, you can't do this. But now we have a segment of the community that if they wanted to get a marriage just like you, they can. How can you equate these two issues when they are both separate and very, very demeaning issues within themselves? Racism and income equality, same-sex marriage. You can't put them one over the other. You just can't. They're both in the inequality bracket. And I have to say, the biggest disappointment to me has to be the comparison that I see from Mr. Famous and many others of the house. I have not seen anything intelligent come from that house since they won the election. And I'm saying this because at the end of the day, they say they're doing this, they say they're doing that, but where is the communication with the people? You passing this bill is not going to make all these people go away. You will still have people who are upset. You will still have people that will fight against the bill.
All you literally have now is everybody that was quiet now is just going to be even angrier. All you've done now is make the problem worse. You literally tried to douse a fire with gas. Literally, that's what you just did. Because it would have been better to not have gay marriage at all than to give it and take it away. When your mama buys you that new toy, would have been better if you didn't buy it, or if she just bought it, let you play with it for a couple months, and then took it back to the store.
Rather she didn't buy it.
Rather she didn't buy it, wouldn't you?
Where is our premier at this time to quell the populace, to discuss how we need to come together as a community to bring to light the benefits of this bill? Because right now, many of us do not see any benefit.
There is no benefit other than you shut up the...
There's no benefit.
There's no benefit other than now you have a bunch of semi-pleased church people.
They're not pleased.
They're not pleased because this isn't what they wanted.
They're not pleased.
And
nobody's pleased.
You decided to do this because you decided to go with the majority. But for a party that's so, pro-black and pro-black rights and pro the struggle and everything like that.
98% black.
I understand, well, all black except for Zane Da Silva and your good old friend,
Graham Mole.
Graham Mole. Regardless, for a party that's so, much look back at what happened to us in the past and what we had to go through, why would you put another group through the same thing?
We had the opportunity to prove
we could have been better
we
people.
were better.
But all we have proven is that we are literally the same as the white people that did horrible things to black people in the past. Oh, you're not out there denying gay. Well, actually, no, they are out there denying gay people jobs. But they're not out there, sicking the police on them and everything. They're not out there actively doing stuff. But you are. See,
the reason why no one rose up for the December 2nd protest and the reason why it didn't make global news and global headlines is because people broke the law. And this is something that people refuse to admit.
It's something that they refuse to admit.
They blocked the House of Assembly and they suffered the cause of that. These people of the LGBTQ community
have done nothing.
Were simply born that way. And if you don't believe that, try to turn yourself gay. Try your best to turn yourself gay.
When did you decide you liked girls? Or men, whoever genders watching.
Because I know my mother didn't grow up and tell me, oh, little Dwayne, you gotta grow up and stick your pee-pee in a girl's vajiji. She didn't tell me that. She didn't say, oh, Dwayne, don't be gay, okay?
Actually, the logic that everybody can choose what sexual orientation they are means that everybody is binary bisexual.
Yeah.
Which means you will be born with an inherent attraction to both genders.
And you just have to choose one.
And you gotta pick one. Which one do I like more? I don't like men. I'm not even in any no way, shape, or form in any way attracted to a man.
Nope, I love the women.
I like women.
Mm-hmm. And it ain't
all
nothing.
shapes and sizes. Okay, not all shapes and sizes.
But there's nothing that can change that. And for the fact that people who are so stout and staunch in their heterosexuality cannot understand the fact that you can't choose who you're attracted to. And the fact that everyone is okay with this right being taken and then in the same breath wants to sit there and talk about equality amongst the races. How do you expect a country to move forward in any sort of equality making a bill like this, passing a bill like this, and they don't even have to go to explain it to you, to even try to justify it. Their whole thing is we have a mandate from the people. Who people? The people that support you? But this bill doesn't concern them. It concerns the people that you took the right from. You didn't have a mandate from them. You stand for minorities above everything because minorities can't stand for themselves. Blacks are 51% of this population. They're not a goddamn minority. Okay? It's that simple. They're not a minority. And for anyone to equate these struggles with one another is really sickening because at the end of the day, yes, blacks are in the minority wealth bracket. That's true. But we're not the minority of people, which means that we can actually get together and make a change and stand for ourselves. Our willingness to undercut one another and not stand together, and our willingness to cry over things and not do a damn thing is the reason why we haven't moved ahead. And at the end of the day, if all 51% of that population decide to say, hey, we're not going to buy from this store, that store will suffer. That place will suffer. But what do? They sit there and they complain. You try to bring in somebody, they want half price. They want to undercut each other. They want to steal from one another. They want to shoot one another.
If the government and the people spent as much time focusing on these boys shooting each other as they did on gay marriage, we wouldn't have any more crime. If the government and the people spent as much time making legislation and talking about things, increase wages, we'd have better wages. If the government and the people, remember, we spent millions of taxpayers' dollars on this deal to take away gay marriage. Literally, we spent millions of dollars. You might not think of it, but we have to pay our politicians how much?
Oh, about 100 grand.
We have to pay our government workers how much?
Around similar.
And we have to spend how much money on a monthly basis to make sure that the government runs?
Millions.
And all those millions of dollars that could have been spent actually making this country better or fixing one of our actual goddamn issues, they spent trying to literally
decide what someone else does.
Decide what someone else gets to do. Someone that's not in any way bothering them. Someone that's not hurting anybody. Someone that's not doing anything that's detrimental to the community. And actually a group of people that is bringing down a larger group of people that is coming down here to spend money. Now, Mr. Robinson, what do we need right now?
Money.
Sorry about that. We run across some technical difficulties sometimes. Either way, that being said, what we need, I don't think we'll get this, but what we need from our premier, we need to find out what the reasoning behind this whole thing was. We need to find out what the understanding was. We need to find out the consensus. We need the numbers of why you think this won't affect tourism, because it's gonna kill us. So we need the information. And frankly, we haven't been getting a lot of information. So what I'm really sad to see is that the Progressive Labour Party is literally doing exactly what they accuse the OBA of doing, and continue to accuse the OBA of doing. Because every time I go to the House every Friday, it's literally them throwing shit at the OBA.
Yeah, we need to see justification, not just the people's mandate. We need more than that. We need to know that you guys actually sat down and diligently thought of this, and actually thought of ways that you can maybe remedy the loss of revenue, or maybe the fact that we are making so much revenue somewhere else that, that might cushion the blow. We need to know your justification behind this, and not just a campaign pledge or the people's mandate. You need to put the people at ease. And the best way to do that is to work towards understanding both sides, which is where we need the government to step up and to actually try to squash this division that is formed in our country, because we already have enough of that.
And assign some PR people to make sure that these asshats don't just post whatever the hell they want on Facebook, because it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Check y'all later.
It's been that type of news. I'm Dutch Pyramid. Bruce Robinson. Have a good day. Good night.